Howdy, y'all. This is Virginia Revivalist here, and I have an important message for you all. So, last night, a monument came down in Pittsboro, North Carolina, a Confederate monument. And people ask, why is fascism rising? Why are all these Southern nationalist groups rising, etc.? I can tell you why. They are rising to defend their way of life. When you have all these carpetbaggers taking down our monuments, attacking our home, telling us we cannot fly a banner of our ancestors, that is where we draw the line. That is where we basically take up arms and defend our way of life. It's sad, but it's true, and you cannot deny it. The liberal school system does not want you to know the truth. They will teach you lies in school. So you'll be brainwashed. They'll be saying that the Confederacy was evil, etc. But they don't talk about Lincoln being a white supremacist. No, they don't. In fact, they teach about Lincoln being a good man. They won't teach about how he was actually, that he wanted to send the blacks back to Africa. He wanted to deport them to Africa. They talk about Robert E. Lee being racist and a slave owner. No, he wasn't. In fact, Robert E. Lee had a quote. He said this: "If I would own every slave, I would do it just to free them." Just to free them. And yet you ask yourselves this: oh, but if he's racist, then why would he say that? Exactly, he's not. But yet everything that was made by white people, etc., are being under attack. You have schools. One of them said they wanted to be an all-black graduate class. You have, and I hate to say this, but it's everywhere now. You also have the sodomites destroying it as well. People ask about this. They say, so why are we so angry? I can tell you why we're so angry. You're destroying our way of life. When Obama gave these sodomites rights, the reason why our flag came under attack is because that's the only thing they could do in the South to basically make the Southerners be forced to accept it by attacking our way of life. By attacking our Christian way of life, you attack the Christian cross of St. Andrew, a Christian flag, mind you. That's how they got that through. That's how they got the agenda through in the South, by attacking our flag. The same month that the Sodomites got rights was the same month that Dylan Roof has shot up that church. The same month. The same month. The same year. The same year the battle flag came down. Wake up, people. You're being brainwashed. They don't want you to know the truth, because if you knew the real truth about the U.S., if you knew the true history, there would be another revolt. I guarantee it. And let me ask you something this. You keep saying you're against all these groups, etc., but yet they're trying to do the right thing. Let me ask you something. So our ancestors, right, they defended their homeland against people who were trying to take everything they own, and they invaded them. So you're telling me if somebody invaded your home, say a Fed invaded it, and said they're going to take everything you own, you would take that? You would not fight against it and defend everything you've worked your whole life for? Come on now, people. You're pathetic if you do that. This is America. We should be defending our way of life, not throwing it away like a bunch of communists. And yes, that is true. I said communist. Yes, there is people in this country that are pro-communist. And it is sad. You have people in this country that are so brainwashed, they would send their own people over the seas to die for Israel. When in reality, we should be staying in our country, trying to fix our country, and stop this division that we have. The anti-white agenda. This is bull. It is, and I'm sick of it. We have so many of our men going overseas to die for Israel in unnecessary wars over oil, and 9/11, for example. it was actually caused to send us to the Middle East to attack for oil, along with the Persian Gulf War. That was over oil, because that's all that's over there. And you ask yourself, why does the world hate us? We invade them for their resources. Like, what do you expect? I'm against all brother wars. And I will say this. What we did in Vietnam was actually necessary when we went and we was going to destroy communism. But guess what? Communism made its way to the U.S. When they destroy our monuments, it is no different than when the Romans, they sacked Jerusalem and they tore down monuments. It is no different. Open your eyes, people. You're being brainwashed. They tell you it's racist, etc. They tell you that everything American is racist. Big freaking deal. Then you attack our freedom of speech. Then you attack our freedom of religion. And how? By attacking the battle flag. You're attacking Southern Christians who fought to defend their home. That's what you're doing. Somebody dies under that flag and they're a Southerner, their blood is on your hands. You know what happened to commies like you people? They were killed in the 50s during the Red Scare. Why are we having this today when the Red Scare was 50 years ago? I can tell you why. Because we've taken God out of America. People literally get offended when we sing Amazing Grace in school, but yet in that one school in Utah, they were praising Allah and making propaganda for ISIS. Explain that. We're being brainwashed to destroy this country. And it all started under President Obama when the final wave started. By allowing the sodomites to have marriage rights. And then attacking us and our way of life. Just like, for example, the gay wedding cake controversy. That was an attack upon Christians. They did not have to take that. And then you take them to the Supreme Court over that. That was an attack upon the First Amendment. The freedom of religion. Now you have all these unconstitutional gun rights. The people saying they're going to take their guns, etc. That is unconstitutional and goes against the Second Amendment. The right to bear arms and form a well-regulated militia. What do you think these people are doing now? They're creating militias to defend their constitutional rights, to defend their way of life. That's why all these groups are around today. That's why they're around. To defend their way of life. To defend their Christian American way of life. They're sick of seeing this degeneracy running rampant in their streets. They're sick of it. That's why we have this today. That's why the alt-right is rising. That's why fascism and anarchy is rising. Because we're sick of it. We're sick of it. It is honestly disgusting and un-American. You bastards that are communists in this country should be hanging right now off light poles like the Red Scare did. We killed the communists here. Why aren't we doing this today? I can tell you why. They've infiltrated the government. They've infiltrated the state government. These Marxist carpetbaggers are destroying the country. And a prime example is California. And now, parts of Texas are like that. Where they allowed a Christian man's son to become a transgender when he said, no. He said, no. That's a boy. And the Dallas state government, yes, the Dallas city government of Texas, literally said to the woman that the boy can become a transgender. Are you kidding me? Then we live in this society where people worship abortion. They care more about a stupid animal than they do their own people. That's all they care about. They care about abortion, killing children, and animals. You know how many ASPCA commercials I see on TV, but none about anti-abortion? This is sad. This is sad. We should be waking up and realizing this. And then we're sending billions and billions over to Israel, to the Israeli government, when we could be using that money to help with what's happening to this country. We're giving it all to the Zionists. And Rockwell was right about it. He was right about it. They are destroying this country. The communists are destroying this country. These Marxists are destroying our home. We say God bless America. But where is God anymore? In many parts he's there. In many parts he's not. You have the world become an atheist. You have the states become an atheist. In New Jersey, not long ago, they attacked a World War I cross. Said it was unconstitutional because Christian soldiers died under it. So what were they trying to do? Remove it. This is not just an attack on Americans, but an attack on God by the devil. Then you have all these cuck, false Christians that allow sodomites to become preachers. They allow this. Then they also allow drag queen story hour, where they will allow a drag queen to literally get in front of your kids and read to them and tell them to become a drag queen. Is this the America we want? No. And I'm sick of seeing this. I'm sick of seeing degeneracy run rampant in the streets. I'm sick of sodomites taking over the community. I'm sick of having to censor myself every time. I'm sick of it. We as Americans should be fighting the system, not being into the system and trying to tolerate it. Our tolerance is dead. America is dead. This is why I'm writing The Return of Christ. Why? Because if we don't tell people, it'll be too late. It will be too late. Many states are already having this problem. Many states, including my state of Virginia, when Northam literally allowed MVP, Mountain Valley Pipeline, to illegally be in the state of Virginia. What did he do with that pipeline? He took land. He took land in Giles County that belonged to farmers. And what did them people do? They went to the Supreme Court about it. And the Supreme Court said, it's no longer their land. They said, it's no longer their land. You know, that goes against the Bill of Rights. Life, liberty, and property, as well as the pursuit of happiness. Where is their property? It's state-owned! We're literally being brainwashed here. And it's by God we wake up now and realize that if we don't bring God back to this country, we're doomed. We're doomed. We have been doomed ever since the reign of Obama. Wake up and realize that. Antifa literally started right after Americans started defending their rights. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of seeing our way of life attacked by these communist bastards. It's time we wake up and realize that this is America and we defend our rights. That we don't give in to communist bullcrap. If this was the Red Scare, they would have already been hung or shot. I'm ashamed of this country. I'm ashamed of, if you can't tell, between a boy and a girl nowadays. I'm ashamed of it. I'm ashamed of seeing pedophiles running rampant through the streets. I'm sick of seeing how the water is polluted, and yet people will say they're trying to help when all they're doing is sitting and doing nothing behind a desk. And all they're focused on is anti-gun bullcrap. Instead, what are they doing? They're only making the environment worse. Flint, Michigan, for example. They don't care. All they do is let their water get worse and worse. Same with Appalachia. What is the state of Virginia doing? They're literally focused on anti-gun BS and then attacking their heritage while literally trying to kill us. They're trying to kill us by unnecessary pipelines that leak and cause pollution in the water. That is what they're doing. Ever since we took God out of this country, we have been doomed. That same year, in 2015, a lot happened that year. Hell was opened up in Switzerland. Yes, CERN opened up hell. And you know what's bad about that? Their logo has 666 in it. That's the devil's number. And you may ask, so what does that mean? 666 means the devil's number. How many colors are in the LGBT flag? 6! When in God's rainbow, there is 7. The LGBTQ flag took out indigo because it's a holy color representing God's promise and God's power. They took it out. They're attacking Christianity. They're attacking God. Wake up and realize that. They don't care they want you to be happy as long as you have money. But I'm telling you right now, if you have money only possessing your life and not God, you'll never be happy. Ever. We're fools if you think that'll happen. Revelation 2:2. It even says false apostles, false preachers, false Christians. What do we have today? We have sodomite preachers. We have pedophile preachers. And it's bad. It is bad. We are worse than Sodom and Gomorrah, and we are worse than Babylon. We're a modern day Babylon. We as Americans need to wake up and bring God back. We need to bring the Bible back to school. We need to bring prayer back to school. We need to stop Islam from being spread, especially in the public school system. I hope y'all had a blessed day, and God bless you all. Deo Vindice, Deus Vult, brothers and sisters. This is Virginia Revivalist, and I hope y'all have a blessed day. Lord, please help us with this country today. And Lord, help us to keep our rights safe from this constitutional tyranny. The unconstitutional tyranny that is being spread rampant through the country. Amen.